This video is going to look at Beckert and Harris's change model. The change model allows you to see all the possibilities and conditions required to make a change within an organization. It follows the formula dissatisfaction times vision times first steps must be greater than the resistance to change. Let's take a look at what we need to make the model work. First, there must be dissatisfaction with the present existing situation. There must be a vision of what is possible in the future and what this might look like for the organization. And finally, there must be achievable first steps towards reaching the vision, also called practicality. Now that we know the three left-hand side elements, let's take a more detailed look at each of these elements, starting with dissatisfaction. The team must feel some sort of dissatisfaction with the current situation before successful change can take place. People need to feel uncomfortable with the current situation to motivate them to want to change. The second element that is required is vision, or desirability. The proposed solution needs to be desirable and attractive to the organization, and people need to understand what it is and how it will change their current situation. The vision needs to be desirable and achievable, and answer the question of what things will look like and why it will be better. The clearer and more detailed the vision, the more likely the change will be accepted. The final element that's required is first steps or practicality. This means the team must be convinced the change is realistic, achievable, and that the change is within their reach. Dissatisfaction, vision, and first steps must all be present in order to overcome the resistance to change. Organization and employee beliefs limit the change that is possible. Stubbornness and lack of interest and inertia make it more difficult for the change to occur and more likely for resistance to overcome. If any of the elements, dissatisfaction, vision, or first steps is equal to 0, then the product or change will also be 0. In other words, resistance will dominate and no change will occur. The change model is limited by its three elements, and organizations and employees must strive to overcome these elements in order for change to successfully occur. Now, let's take a look at how the change model was used in a real-life company. Atlassian is an enterprise software company that develops products for software developers, project managers, and content management. In 2011, Atlassian went through a performance management overhaul. Employees would become nervous, anxious, and demotivated by the review system. This is where we see the first element of the change model, dissatisfaction. Atlassian employees were dissatisfied by the current review system that was in place. To address this issue, Atlassian trashed its existing review process in favor of a more continuous and less numeric model. Managers knew their employees hated being rated on a 5-point scale, so they proposed a new review model. This was the vision that was being proposed to Atlassian employees. In order to implement this change, management needed to provide the employees and overall organization with realistic, achievable first steps to change. They did this by clearly outlining how the employee evaluation system could look. They proposed to remove the existing system, provide all employees with a salary bump, and replace biannual reviews with monthly one-on-one informal performance coaching sessions. Because these first steps were realistic, achievable, and reachable, Atlassian employees responded positively to the new evaluation program. So, Atlassian was able to implement their performance evaluation change because there was dissatisfaction from employees, a clear vision of what change would look like, and realistic first steps to making the change. Atlassian had all the elements present to overcome resistance to change. The change model is relevant to all change situations. As long as your three elements are present, you can make a change happen.
Created using Powtoon.